Hey guys, Mr. Lloyd here, going to work with you on video 2 of 3 for today, April 20th. So this video is going to cover how to find the solutions on this page, and as you can see, the first thing I hope you're noticing is that there are a lot of colors on this page, and so if you're following directions just like it said, you're going to be able to do this. You're going to be able to color yours in with lots of pretty colors. If you don't have colors, one thing you could choose to do instead of blue and red, you could choose to put little like triangles for blue and circles for red, and then green you could choose a different shape, for example a square. Yellow you could choose a different shape, you could do stars for yellow, and so on and so forth. Just make sure you're tracking it. The colors are nice and pretty, but not actually the most important thing. The most important thing is understanding how to convert the groups here that we're coloring into percentages. So taking a look at this very first problem, it says color one group blue. So you can see right up here, top left, I colored it blue. Didn't really need to zoom in on that, but there we are. Okay, and then we're trying to figure out what is the percent of students that are blue. Well, I colored the group blue. I count them up. There's 1, 2, 3. So here's what I do. I turn this into a quick little fraction. Blue students on top, total students on bottom. So blue 3, total 300. And remember that a fraction is also a division problem. 3 divided by 300. And when I do that division, I get 0.01 or 1%. So remember that previous page from the first video, we're converting decimals into percentages and back and forth. One way, here's a percentage, call it a decimal, here's a decimal, call it a percentage. We were doing that process, and so that tells me, oh, well, 0.01 is 1%. Coming down on the page a little bit, it says, what number of students is this? Well, I already figured that out. It's 3 students, so it's 1%. No big deal here. We just really needed a 3 here. Okay, color 17 groups green. So I did that up top, and I do the same process. My green students on top, my total students on bottom. 51 divided by 300, I plug that into the calculator, I get 0.17. 0.17 is also known as 17%. What number of students is this? 51 students. Okay, same process as the problem above there. Let me come down to number, well, I'm not sure if I'm doing these in the correct order. Let me actually come up here to this problem, color 4 groups red. So again, I color them red. You can see my 4 groups are red. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming back down to the problem, the red students on top, total students on bottom. So 4 groups of 3 per group, that's 12 students. And I do 12 over 300, or 12 divided by 300, which equals 0.04, which is also known as 4%. So these things, starting here all the way over to where I boxed 4%, each term in here, or each set of terms in between the equal sign, has the same value. So 12 over 300 is equal to 12 divided by 300, which is equal to 0.04 and equal to 4%. Okay. Not trying to confuse. I probably said a lot of things there. I didn't mean to confuse you. After I said it, I kind of regret it. Okay, number 4, color 9% of the students yellow. Well, how do I figure out how to do that? The first thing I have to do actually is solve for this number here before I start to do my coloring. So to set this problem up, I do an unknown on top and a total on bottom. So my unknown, I'm just going to use x for my unknown. The total number of students is 300. Okay, here, set it up as cross multiplication. 9 over 100 is also known as 9%. So that's where that 9 over 100 came from. Once you've got it set up, you cross multiply, just like my mouse is making an X symbol here. That's what it should be. So 100x equals 2700. I divide and I get 27 students. And coming up here, I found that 27 students is 9 groups. And you can see my 9 groups yellow right there. Okay. Short amount of time here, but the bottom 2 problems are going to ask us to do the same type of thing here, where we set up an unknown over total and then turn your percent into a fraction over 100 and solve for the percent. And that's the last. These are the same problem solving method on these last 2 problems. Okay, so I'm going to leave it right there. If you need to pause, remember to pause and rewind if you need to. Please let me know if you guys have questions.